Howdy, I'm Kerry Parrott, Area Manager for Red River Specialties. One of the most common questions we get asked is how much herbicide do I put in my spray tank? While we do have some herbicides we can recommend a certain amount of volume per water, most of our selective herbicides require a specific application of a given amount per acre. Before I can answer how much to put in your spray tank, I need to know how many acres the tank will cover. And to know that information, I need to know the gallons per acre the sprayer is putting out. If you're only guessing how many acres your tank will cover, you're running a couple of risks. Either you will end up putting out too little, which won't get the control you're looking for, or you'll put out too much, which could potentially hurt the crop, and it's bad for your pocketbook. The good news is, getting the answers to those questions is easier than you think. All you need is a bucket, measuring cup, timer, and measuring tape. I'll meet you out in the field to show you how you can do this yourself just in a few minutes. A properly calibrated sprayer is the foundation of a successful weed control program. It saves money by only applying what you need and ensures maximum efficacy of the herbicide. It only takes a few minutes and it's very easy to do. As I said earlier, we need to find out how many gallons per acre the sprayer is putting out, and we'll use this formula. I know that looks pretty confusing, but we'll break it down and figure out each piece one at a time. Let's start with miles per hour. If your tractor has a speedometer on it, this is the easiest part. Determine how fast you can go over the entire field. Don't go any faster than you can go over the worst part of your field. Constant speed is critical. Note what that speed is and also what the RPMs are at that speed. We'll need to know what RPM the tractor is operating at so we can get an accurate gallons per minute in the next step. If your tractor doesn't have an accurate speedometer, it takes one extra step. Measure out 88 feet and put up flags at the beginning and the end of the 88 feet. Drive the tractor at a speed you can spray the entire field yourself and travel the 88 feet. Start driving the tractor before you pass the starting point so that you're going at spraying speed when you pass the first flag. Record how long it takes to go 88 feet and remember to record your RPMs as well. Do this 3 times and average your times. We picked 88 feet because that's 1/60th of a mile. Take your average time to go 88 feet and multiply by 60. That's how long it would take you to go a mile. For example, if you took 3.8 seconds to go 88 feet, multiply 3.8 by 60, and it would take 228 seconds to go a mile. If you're 3,600 seconds in an hour, divide 3,600 by 228, and that's 15.9 miles per hour. Next, let's determine how many gallons per minute the sprayer is putting out. We will hold a bucket under the nozzle and capture all the water that comes out in 30 seconds. A couple of things to note before you start. First, make sure you only have water in the tank, no pesticides. If you're like me, you're inevitably going to get some on you or all over you. Second, make sure the tractor is at RPM that you'll be spraying at. If it's only idling, you won't get the proper pressure on the sprayer and you will not get the correct gallons per minute. If you have more than one nozzle, do this for each one. It is also a good idea to do this a few times on each nozzle and take the averages. Measure all the water you caught in the bucket, multiply times 2, and this is how many gallons per minute the nozzle is spraying. We got 57 ounces in 30 seconds. Multiply by 2, that equals 114 ounces. Now divide 114 by 128, and that's 0.89. The nozzle is putting out 0.89 gallons per minute. The last variable we have to capture is the swath width in inches. It's very important we do this in inches. If you convert to feet, you will get an incorrect GPA. Inches are what we're looking for. Put the nozzles over cement or a sandy spot, anywhere you can easily see the spray pattern on the ground. Crank the tractor up to RPMs that we're going to be running and turn the sprayer on for a few seconds. As you look at the pattern, measure out the effective spray width. We need to measure from here to here and plan for some overlap to let the edges be effective. So this swath width comes to 147 inches. We now have the effective swath width. We now have all the variables captured and all that remains is a little bit of math. Here's our formula. Let's plug in our numbers. The GPA for this rig at this speed and this RPM is 5.28. I should also mention that 5940 is a constant we use for the formula. You will always use this number with this formula. So your GPA is 5.28. If your tank is 200 gallons, divide 200 by 5.28 and you can spray 37.9 acres with a full tank. Now you know if you want to spray a 20-acre field with 24 ounces of Grazon Next, you'll need to fill the tank with 106 gallons of water because 5.28 gallons per acre times 20 is 106 gallons. Then you'll add 480 ounces of Grazon Next, or 3 gallons and 96 ounces to your tank. And don't forget the 32 ounces of Red River NIS to make sure those weeds get killed. You can now spray with the confidence of knowing you are putting out the recommended rates for the best job possible. Happy spraying.